Hey everyone, Mike again with another deck profile, and this time we're covering one of my favorite decks again, Sky Striker, and you can see what changes I've made to it. It is still hard go second, so a number of the card choices are influenced there, and we'll get into the things that I think you should just change depending on your locals. I run them because of the locals that I play in, and you know what, for the question of the day, since I was talking about changing cards specifically out, what's your favorite hand trap? For those of you that have watched the channel a lot, mine is Ash. Although its Imperm gives it a run for its money sometimes, so. Alright, let's get into it. So to start, your ace package is pretty standard, 3 Ray, 1 Rose. I have often thought about cutting the Rose, but I probably never will. She's valuable. She does work for the OTK, but at least in my experience, I found the OTK to not be very relevant. It is an option you can do, it just doesn't happen that often, but keep that in mind if you ever decide you don't want to play Rose. And then into my hand traps, that hasn't changed that much. We're on 3 Ash still, 2 Droll, 2 Veiler. I've thought about playing Nibiru, but with all the tools Sky Striker has, I normally don't care if my opponent has that full of a board. So I figured dealing with things like this to try to stop them from getting into the more problematic monsters is a bigger deal than Nibiruing them. But we'll see if I eat my words on that when I go to locals with this deck. Alright, now let's get into the Striker spells. 2 Engage, they're going to give us 2, we're going to play 2. 3 Anchor, this is probably my favorite Sky Striker spell. I love how versatile it is, given that it is a effect negation, or as I refer to them, stifles, that also steals your opponent's monsters. Really nice. 3 Linkage, it acts as an extra copy of your aces, and it helps for that OTK I was talking about that I don't really go into, but it is an option available to you. 3, no, you can play 3. I just play 2 multi-roll. I've often thought about going down to 1. I just like the second copy, and it's a decent one to send off of Hayate if you don't have anything else to send. 2 Afterburner. Just a really solid answer to creatures. And then when we get into the singletons, Area 0, Hornet Drones, and Shark Cannon. Shark Cannon could go up, it depends on your locals. If there's enough things so that you want a cannon, feel free to go up on cannons. Alright, and then the other spells that aren't Striker. 2 Talents. Just a really good card, and I'm a huge fan of it. 3 Droplet. Cashier is basically gone, so we're definitely playing this card again. I love how you can influence your spell count on the stack with Droplet, and it's just a solid answer to deal with boards. 2 Lightning Storm. I wish this wasn't limited, but is what it is. Since we're playing hard go second, we're maining 2 Lightning Storms. And then into the singletons, Rhoda, Upstart Goblin, Change of Heart, and Feather Duster. And this is the last of the spells, so one thing you might be noticing here, we're currently not playing Thrust, and a little bit of Cold Water. If you don't own Thrust, do not buy it for Sky Striker. I love this deck. I really do. I really do a lot. It's probably my favorite deck I've ever played in Yu-Gi-Oh! It is aggressively tier 2, even with Thrust, and to be honest, like, if you already own Thrusts, I'd probably put them right here, or possibly dropping a Tactics. But don't buy them for this deck. It's not going to help that much, and you're just going to have $280 of cards that don't really help your win percentage by significant enough of an amount to afford. Now again, if you're running them in multiple decks and your real tier 1 deck uses Thrusts, or you can get a great deal on them, by all means, but please do not buy Thrusts just to play Striker. You're going to end up disappointed. And then to round out the main deck is 3 Imperms. Really good hand trap. It's your only real answer sometimes to cards like Anti-Spell, and it's just amazing. Now we'll go into the extra deck, which has changed a little bit. The Sky Striker current loadout hasn't, but 3 Kagari, 2 Hayate, 3 Shizuku, an Azalea, and a Zeke. As I've said previously, Azalea is not required. You can play 2 Zeke, or you could play Akaina. I'm gonna see whether I want to run Akaina, because I do really like her. I like that you can just kind of blank your opponent's biggest monster, and then that can buy you a turn to be able to kill them. I'm not running it currently, but I know it's an option that's always available to me. So, besides that, not a whole lot to go over. Pretty standard Sky Striker loadout. And then I don't do Celine, as a lot of you know. I do Charmers. Between Charmers and your anchors, and I'm running Change of Heart and all of those things, it is not hard to link climb. You don't have to have Celine to get to Access Code Talker. You really don't. It hardly ever comes up, and it's more of a combo-y piece that I'm really not interested in exposing myself to, if I can help it. And then the last thing I'm trying is Typhon. Being able to negate those bigger monsters seems nice. He's easy to get out, and I have one because I needed one for Labyrinth anyway, so I figured why not try him here. The 15th slot in Sky Striker's kind of flexible, so I'm gonna give him a shot and see what I think. But yeah, that's the profile, so let us know what you think in the comments, and have a good one.